Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV here for round number 4 of the British and Irish Esports Championship as we take in the circuit Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix. I'm going to be taking you through the action. My name, of course, is Ivor Bryn Mike, and I am looking forward to this one, even though attendance-wise, it's not looking too good at the moment. We've got, I think, 12, maybe 13 drivers in altogether. So it's going to be easy to make the top 10. If you can get inside the top 10, all you got to do is beat 2 drivers. You're inside the top 10. That's points on the board right there. Points on the board around this 5.8 kilometer circuit with 15 grueling corners, all designed to test your patience and test your nerve when it comes to track limits, let's say. Of course, as we look at the championship standings, as I'm just getting them up real quick. Forza Brendan leads the way on 51 points, with XA Tom in second place on 47. 37 points for Harry B in third, with Cost Capping on 28 points in fourth. Tam in fifth on 25 points, with Colin R. Mason in sixth on 23. 18 points for Dylan McGivern. 8th place for RJW underscore videos on 17 points, 15 points for Yaham, and 12 points for Andy Campbell. That runs at the top 10 in the championships. And outside of the top 10 in the championships, we have Mace on 12 points, Jamie on 10, Hooky on 4 points in 13th place. Then we've got 3 points for I Am Silas, 2 points for Leslie the Twig. And then the drivers who unfortunately haven't got a point to their name yet is Kiki, Scott Bugner, Harry Collier, G-Mac and Stacks United. And of course we are going into one-shot qualifying here tonight for the late start. So we will be on board with the man RJW as we come into turn 1. Missing as much as possible of the curb, so tend to avoid it, but really want to be attacking that first corner. But into turn 3 and 4 again, very aggressive over the curbs, and that will gain you quite a bit of time as we go through turn 5 now. The rotation through turn 6, very important to get a good run out of this corner because it slingshots you down the main straight with DRS wide open all the way down to the chicane, turn 8 and 9, where we should be seeing quite a few overtakes here tonight. As RJW gets a little bit on the inside curb but keeps it all together on the exit, and now through the flat out right hander of turn 10. Will he keep his foot planted? Yes, he does. Up in the P6 for RJW as we go into turn 11. Very tricky corner to get right, and using as all of the track possible as we go into turn 12. Once again, using every bit of track you possibly can as Maze is retired from the session. Breaking now into turn 14 and now into 15. Good traction out of here. Will give you a good run to the line. Is RJW going to get the good traction? Potentially, but he's up in P5 at the moment and he's going to cross the line. It's going to be P4 for RJW as Hooky gets disqualified from the session as well. So that brings a close to one-shot qualifying. We'll run you through the order. It is Forza Brendan leading the way on a 30-point floor ahead of Tam in second on a 30.5. And that was an unfortunate bit of win for me as Cost Capping in third here with a 30.6, 30.7 for RJW and a 30.8 for Yaham, very close at the top. Then we got Tom in 6th, Dylan in 7th, G-Mac in 8th, Andy Campbell in 9th, and then our drivers who weren't able to get a lap on the board, both of the Welsh drivers, Hooky and Colin Armation, will be starting P10 and P11. And Maze, of course, who did not finish his lap, retiring from the session, he's going to be starting from the back in 12th place. But I'll quickly run you through the construction championship as well while we're here. Aston Martin on 88 points leading the way, with McLaren on 62 points in second place, and a bit of a gap back to AlphaTauri on 32 points. 25 points apiece for the Red Bull Racing and Williams Racing team. So both of those teams scrapping out, and one's looking to take advantage of the other here tonight. Mercedes on 24 points, 1 point behind those two. So a nice tight battle there for P4. Alpine on 21 points, so they're also thereabouts. Alfa Romeo on 17 points, down in 8th place. 10 points for the Scuderia Ferraris, and Haas F1 with nil points, no points to the name. As we go to those 5 red lights here for the circuit, Paul Ricard. Lights are out and we are underway here, and it looks like a good start from everyone so far as Dylan gets the jump on Tom Yaham and Forza Rendons. We've got Tam and Forza Rendon there going side by side. We've got Colin making his way up the order there. Before move, oh my god, as I just gone on board with that Andy Campbell. Is that wing damage for the Williams? I believe it is, and wow. I think Andy Campbell may have had an illegal overtake on GMAC and get the position back. Colin got caught out by it, and that is heartbreak for the Welshman. As up at the front, Sam getting the jump and getting the launch that he needed on Forza Brendan, and now is up into the lead of this race. But you can see the Aston Martin already on him, applying the pressure. We'll stay on board with this. Looks like Colin may need to jump into the pits and have a front wing change, as I have notifications in my batteries about to run out on this controller. That is not very professional of me. So guys, if you would give me just a quick second, allow me to change these controllers over, and I shall be back momentarily. Right, there we go. We should be all sorted now. Colin into the pits, and I didn't even get the tyres up. Shame on me. And there you can see the tyre strategies of everyone in the race. Only 3 drivers on the set of the mediums, 4 now including Colin, and he's not going to be happy about having to go on the mediums this early on. Dylan on the set of those mediums, RJW on the set of those mediums. A pretty lackluster start from RJW. He's back up in close to his position now, so he is making his way back up, but he fell down the order quite considerably. Mays only in 9th. Of course, we've got Hooky in 7th and Colin, and Cost Cabin had a pretty bad start as well. Will we see Alpha Tauri play nice with each other, or will we see them battle? That's the question. As we got Tom getting through on Andy Campbell, and you got RJW all over the back of GMAC here for P5. RJW just sticks in behind the Red Bull for the time being, but needs to dispatch it as quickly as possible. As once DRS is activated, these top 4 will begin to pull away from GMAC unless GMAC can get back within that 3-second window. As I think that's Hooky's. I think he's lost it on the turn 2 curb. Very easily done, losing it on that curve. So absolutely no shame in losing it there. As now we have RJW cruising past GMAC, and as you can see, GMAC losing a lot of time as he's going to try and hang it around the outside. Can't do it though, so he has to stick in behind the Alfa Romeo. Gets a little bit caught on the curb there, and now we have the Mercedes line up here in 8th and 9th. And the top three starting to break away from Yahame as he is just over a second out of the window. RJW on those mediums needs to use these tyres to close up. As we have a spinner, and that is Mays, who's gone around cross-cap and moves up into P9. It's a checkerboard now. Mercedes Alpha Tauri, but now Hookie's through and up into P10 now. So it is a Mercedes sandwich with an Alpha Tauri filling, and now Forza Brendan responding to Tam, starting to put the pressure on the Red Bull driver. As RJW unable to close up as much as he would have liked, but he has been able to kind of get clear somewhat of GMAC, and GMAC may be outside that DRS window. He is going to be outside the DRS window, so now chances of the overtake potentially now going to Tom in a few moments, as probably going to be looking for the better exit. Back up towards the front. Forza Brendan still sticking it behind Tam. And Dylan is there in the mix. As Hookie and Mays having a nice little ding-dong battle here for P10. Stay on board with this one. This one could get a little bit spicy. As soon as I go up, oh no, that's Mays around. Was there contact? Or did Mays just lose it? I don't know. We flicked off at the worst time there. But Mays has gone around once again. Up at the front though, Tam is not, he's on 100% battery. This is impressive from Tam. 100% battery, and he's still leading the race. Forza Brendan may have a bit of trouble on his hands here tonight, as Tam appears to be in fine form indeed. As Tom finally gets through on GMAC, and we'll see 2.8 seconds is the gap now between Tom and RJW, so you can tell how much time he lost. RJW is closing in on this top 4 pack, but he needs a big final sector here to come within that DRS window. Question is, will he find it? Realistically, he needs some of these guys up ahead of him to start battling. Oh, he's gained 2 tenths. It's not enough, but he's gained 2 tenths, and that's good for RJW. Can he gain any more in the final corner? Yellow flag, and I think that's Cost Captain who's gone around. And it is. RJW losing out a bit there with DRS helping these guys up ahead. He's got to get himself within that 1 second window, because he's going to hemorrhage a lot of time now down this back straight. And is this the lap where Forza Brendan launches the attack? He's going to stick it in behind. RJW did get down to 1.1 before the DRS open, but you see he lost 2 tenths there. He needs to use some battery to get within that 1 second. Once he's in the 1 second, he should be able to latch on and stick with these guys up ahead of him. Well, Tom and GMAC lying in 6th and 7th is still Looking decent for Tom. He's getting himself away from G-Mac. G-Mac there losing out slightly. And now RJW so close. Is he within that 1 second window? Time will tell. He's just over a second at 1.1 now. RJW needs a big first sector here. That's a good run. Off the exit of turn 2, that's a good run. It gives him a chance as we come into turns 3, 4 and 5, where RJW has looked pretty rapid comparison to some of the guys up ahead of him. Oh, this could be it. The opportunity he's looking for. He's in DRS. RJW is now within that 1 second window, and Yaham just about latched on to DRS of Dylan there. So now RJW is in this train, which is good for him. Top 5 all within DRS of each other. Then we got Tom, who's breaking away from G-Mac now in 6th and 7th place. Andy Campbell has been going about his business while everyone behind him has been spinning out. Cost Captain back up into 9th, and he's going well. We've got Hooky up into 10th. Mays, who's under pressure now from Colin R. Mason, who of course had that early contact with Andy Campbell. One that will probably be reported to the stewards, I can assure you of that, but time will tell. I think if Andy Campbell had the returned the position back, I think that one might go down as a racing incident. As Cost Captain is into the pits. And Dylan now dropping out of the DRS of these guys, as now here goes Colin. Oh, he had a look on the inside. Mays left him a bit of room, not a whole lot, but he left him a bit. Left him a bit to go side by side, but not enough to fully take advantage of it. So Colin has to stick behind Mays for the time being. Cost Captain's going to come out of the pits on fresh mediums behind these two now. As Yaham and Dylan trading positions here. Dylan looks like he is losing out now, as I believe we just saw Andy Campbell go for a spin. Just go on board with RJW as these two battle up ahead. This is the battle for the final spot on the podium. We're on lap 8. It is Tam who leads the way. Forza Brendan in 2nd. Yaham now up in the 3rd. Dylan in 4th. RJW in 5th. But it looks like these medium tyres are starting to drop off now. As, oh my god, look at this. Cost Captain down the inside of Colin R. Mason. As I go into turn 10, and I think Mace is letting Colin through, so we saw yellow flags, maybe a bit of contact between Mace and Colin. Mace letting Colin back through. So some sportsmanlike behaviour going on there, but Colin is not having a good day, is he? It all went wrong at the start for Colin R. Mason, getting caught up with Andy Campbell. Speaking of Andy Campbell, under pressure now from ESW Hooky. But will we see any moves happen? Dylan doesn't want to go for the move on Yaham. Into the chicane. Go about on the exit. Not going to go for it. G-Mac with a 3-second time penalty. And now Hooky on Andy Campbell. DRS wide open. As simple as you like. Thank you very much. I'll be taking P8, sir. The Alpha Tauri moves up into P8. Tom is doing absolutely fantastic at the moment. Like, look at that. He's on 90 plus %. on his battery. How is the guy doing it? And he's still got enough pace to stick ahead of Forza Brendan, who's on 60%. Incredible stuff. Yaham suffering now from lack of ERS, and you've got to think that RJW should be able to get past one on lap 10 to 27. RJW shouldn't be too far away from his pit stop, and you can see how much he loses there on the exit of the corner. Just the tyre is starting to weigh out for RJW. And cost cabin with a new fastest lap of 33.9, showing that he does have pace around you. It's just a track of inconsistencies right now for cost cabin. RJW not going to go for a move in this final sector, I don't think. Potentially may think about coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Cover off Dylan. No, he stays out. RJW staying out here. We start lap 11. We got a couple of battles out on track. We got Andy Campbell and Hooky for P8 and P9. We got RJW and Yaham, and that gap really should start to be increasing now as those mediums start to fall away from RJW. And we got the battle for the race lead between Tam and Forza Brendan. Tam currently the man sitting in P5 in the championship on 25 points. 26 points behind Forza Brendan in the championship. So Forza Brendan can afford to finish second here and drop 7 points to Tam. But you know he's not going to want to. There's that old Irish versus Scottish mentality. Anything you can do, I can do better. That's their mentality. You make Irish whiskey, we make Scottish whiskey. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. You speak Irish Gaelic, we speak Scottish Gaelic. There you go. They're always trying to one up each other by doing the exact same thing. You wear a kilt, we wear a kilt. As Hooky now with a 3-second time penalty as he's trying to get away from Andy Campbell. Yaham with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that could be big. The question is, where do these two come out relative to Dylan? Dylan coming through the final corner now as both of the guys up ahead have been released on their pit box. Here comes Dylan, and he's going to slot back just ahead of RJW, but he's still in behind Yaham. As Forza Brendan takes the race lead away from Sam, so these guys now begin to trade positions back and forth. We were wondering when the attack was going to happen, and it ended up happening on lap 12. Forza Brendan now into the lead of the race. But Sam does have 50% more battery than Brendan. Now he's going to stick in behind Forza Brendan for the time being. As Dylan unable to get the launch that he wanted out that final corner. Now we go back up towards the front. As Sam runs a little bit wide on the exit at turn 6. Does lose a bit of time, but he does have the ERS to gain it back down this back straight. And he's back within half a second of Forza Brendan. As Dylan with a 3-second time penalty. That's looking pretty decent right now for RJW, who is about 1.7 seconds back from Dylan and needs to get back within DRS range as quickly as possible. Yaham on those mediums now breaking away from Dylan. So those mediums are working well for Yaham. He's trying to pull away, trying to build a gap. Lap 14 of 27. We are just over halfway through this race. Forza Brendan leads away from Tam in second place, and we got XA Tom in third. That is your top 3 at this moment in time. As Tam picks up a 3-second time penalty, he was on board with that, and we saw a hefty cut through turn 8, and that is... it's definitely going to be now a potential race loss for Tam, now that he's picked that up. And he just got a little bit wayward there on the exit curve as we just cut back to him, just catching his car there. And Tam now losing a bit of time to Forza Brendan, and needs to use some battery now to get back and put Forza Brendan under pressure here. That's it now. Tam does need to get into a bit of a scrap with Forza Brendan. Maybe try and pressure him into making a mistake or two to pick himself up a 3-second time penalty to equal this out. But Tam gets a little bit out of shape at the end of sector 1, and he is outside that 1-second window and needs to use his ERS to get back in it. As Colin is into the pits once again, so obviously this will be for another set of medium compound tyres for Colin R. Mason. Not been a good day for him so far. He is kind of hoping for a safety car to bring him back into it, I can't lie. Same with Cost Capping as well. He's also looking at potentially safety car to be brought in, but he is right now looking to make a move on Andy Campbell. He's drawn alongside the Mercedes car. He's going to be able to get it done. Mercedes here trying to outbrake, but unable to hold it around the outside. So Cost Capping up into 9th place. Forza Brendan now into the pits. Tam continues on. Tom also into the pits. This will be interesting with Yaham now. As Dylan's around. Sector 3, Dylan is around. No yellow flags, but no virtual safety car, no safety car. And Yaham now with that undercut. Back within DRS range of Forza Brendan. So if Johan can just stick with Forza Brendan for a lap or two, hopefully have DRS to kind of pull himself away, save up a bit of battery versus RJW. He should be decent to keep that 5-second lead to RJW, who's going to be closed in by Tom pretty soon on a fresh set of mediums also. Forza Brendan looking to try and close in as much as possible on Sam, as Sam is now into the pits. 22.2 seconds. Is that enough for Forza Brendan? Is it enough for Tam? Tam's already been let go. As Forza Brendan out of the final corner. Tam is just getting released now. Back up to speed, and he's going to drop behind Yaham. That is big for Forza Brendan. He only gets himself ahead of Tam, but also he has Yaham in between them now. As we got Cost Cabin and Andy Campbell into the pits as well. So this will make the bottom end points a little bit interesting, because you can see Hookie's only about 5 seconds ahead of Colin. Colin could very easily catch that up over the remaining 10 laps. Andy Campbell was around Hookie before coming into the pits, so you'd think they'd still be pretty close to each other, and they are pretty close to each other. About a second between them. And now Colin can smell a point as he sets the fastest lap of the race, so he's getting into the groove now. Everyone is a bit spread out at this moment in time, so while everyone is a bit spread out, I'm just going to quickly have a little look at the comments and see what everyone is saying in the good old comment section. No one's saying anything. It's unfortunate. You hate to see it, you really do. But now we got Sam closing in on Yaham, so these guys are now beginning to close back up with each other, which is good because we're looking for a battle. We got Tom now on the back of RJW as well. It's the battle between the hards and the mediums. Mediums should comfortably get to the end now for Tom, but as we go into the closing stages of this race, the hards should come back to RJW. As Sam, he had a little luck, but Yaham takes to the exit road there. Picks himself out a 3-second time penalty. And now I think, yeah, Tam will just cruise on through. So if I was just a straight up 3-second time penalty, I think Yaham could possibly request to get that removed. As you know, he definitely didn't gain anything from it. He gave the position back to Tam. So now we got Tom on the back of RJW. This will be a tasty fight, and we got Colin closing in on Andy Campbell as well. Let's not forget that battle that's brewing. We'll stick on board with this one, the battle for P4. And let's not forget, Yaham does have a 5-second time, 8 seconds now. This is the battle for the podium between Tom and RJ. I'm just quickly going to verify that. Oh, Jesus Christ, 11 seconds. 11 seconds there for Yaham, and that's going to drop him quite. No, it's going to drop him all the way down to 5th. Oh no, that's Yaham around. Yaham has lost it on the exit of turn 6. And now he's been thrown right into the grinder. RJW does not have DRS, but will have the overspeed, as Tom does have DRS. Tom's going to go past RJW. Is his teammate going to let him through as well? His teammate does let him through. Yaham takes to the exit ramp once again. That's another 3-second time penalty for Yaham. And now I think Yaham may do the team game and try and hold up RJW. But RJW is having absolutely none of it. He's going to go down the inside of Yaham here into turn 11. Can the Alfa Romeo get the job done? Yes, he can. RJW now up into P4. Obviously, Yaham getting 2 straight up 3-second time penalties from the looks of it for cutting the chicane of turn 8 and 9. You can argue he could potentially get him removed because he didn't gain anything. In fact, he gave positions up after he done it. So, oh, and Yaham's gone. Yaham has lost it. Yellow flags out briefly, but not completely. As now we got Andy Campbell and Colin Mason having a bit of a battle for the final point playing position. And you can see just up the road is Hooky. And not too much further up ahead of Hooky is Cost Cabin. So still a possibility of P8 here for Colin, and he's not wasting any time. He's getting through on Andy Campbell right now into turn 3. This could give Andy Campbell a chance to come back at him with DRS, and it looks like he is going to try and come back at him with DRS. Colin covers the inside. And he lets Andy Campbell go. Looks at the better exit out of the chicane. Gets the better exit. Has more ERS available. He's going to have the speed to draw alongside the Mercedes. Side by side through turn 10. Colin on the inside. Job done. Will Andy Campbell have looked back down the inside? No, he will not. So Colin now up into P10, the points playing position for the Williams, as Andy there had a little peek down the inside, but was never going to work there. Now the question is, can Andy Campbell keep with Colin as Colin closes up the Hooky? That's the question. And now Tam is back within 3 seconds. Oh, he's back within the 1 second of Forza Brendan. So even though Forza Brendan doesn't have a penalty to his name, the battle is definitely on between these two. Because one mistake from Forza Brendan, 1 3-second time penalty, and it is going to be in the balance. If you guys would excuse me, I think I can hear my dog barking. Okay, apologies about that, guys. We are back, and I don't think I have missed anything. Oh, right, so we got Colin, who has broken away now from Andy Campbell. So the hope for Andy Campbell is like to stick with Colin to close up the Hooky. That is no longer going to happen. Now Colin with the opportunity to overtake Hooky on this lap, and you could see a swap. And oh, that's Cost Cabin gone around. Cross-cabin has gone around and now he's been thrown right back into the mixer. This is going to get very interesting indeed as Hooky, oh, he's trying to have a little look around the outside. Now this should get, this should be interesting now because you got the Alpha Tauris, maybe looking at a team game, but Colin's not having any of it. He's going to use ERS to breeze past Hooky straight away. Hooky realising the fight's probably over. Colin, the quicker driver, no point in holding him up. Trying to stick on the back of him, get towed along with DRS if possible. And now this battle for P8 between Cross-cabin and Colin R. Mason will definitely be a fight to keep an eye on. For P8. Lap 23 of 27. Forza Brendan still leading the way. Tam, oh, as he gets onto the exit curve, has a big moment, and that's a massive amount of time that he's just lost out to Forza Brendan. No safety cars so far as Cross-cabin's into the pits, so that will release Colin up into 8th. Hooky will go up into 9th and Andy will go up into 10th. It'll be the Red Bull soft tyres for Cross-cabin and 5 seconds stop go penalty. But GMAC closing in on Dylan here for P6. This fight could definitely still continue on as Tam picks up another 3-second time penalty, and that is heartbreak for the Red Bull, because that now I think that is effectively the race win out of question now. This is a massive mistake. As you got RTW still running around in P4. He's lost sight of Tom. We'll see in these closing laps he should begin to see those tyres start to come into play to bring himself back into the race. Whether he will be able to or not, that's the other question. GMAC on the back of Dylan. On the back of Dylan for P6. This is the closest battle we have on track. Everyone, well, I say closest battle. The closest battle is pretty much even between the two. Dylan there gets a little bit out of shape on the exit, and we shall see if GMAC is able to get ahead. Meanwhile, up at the top, Tam starting to put the pressure on now. He needs to force Forza Brendan into a mistake. Red Bull versus Aston Martin. And this is still going to be a great result for Tam, but he's kind of forced Forza Brendan into a mistake, and he's just going to go straight past. I think Forza Brendan knows what he has to do now. He just needs to bring it home. Of course, the nearest championship rival to Forza Brendan is Tom. He's currently in 3rd. So as it currently stands, looks like Tom will be losing out 10 points to Forza Brendan. So that's Tam off track. Too late for a safety car now. But what Tam has done has potentially opened the door for Tom to get 2nd place here. Six attempts is all that's in it. We go on to this battle with GMAC and Dylan. GMAC closing in. They got a comfortable 26-second gap to Colin, who's had an absolute nightmare race scenario. The early wing damage for Colin R. Mason collision with Andy Campbell, I think was giving a position back to GMAC at the start of the race. Cole calling out, gave him massive wing damage. He had to come into the pits on the start. It's been a good recovery drive from Colin, and I mean, to be fair, it's not over yet because anything can happen with just over 2 laps to go. So we've got GMAC and Dylan. They're closing in on each other. Dylan does have a slight advantage in terms of ERS, but DRS is in favour of GMAC. And they're closing in on Yaham as well, so Yaham could play a factor in this. All three have a penalty. I checked the penalties earlier. I don't really want to check them again. I know Yaham does have a stack for them. Question is, how much did Dylan and GMAC pick up as Tam gets himself back up ahead of Forza Brendan. As we are in the final sector of the penultimate lap here. Fastest lap at the moment with Cost Cabin. Of course, outside the top 10. Inside the top 10, the fastest lap is currently held by Tom. As we're on the final lap of the race, is that Cost Cabin that's gone around? Yes, it is. Cost Cabin has gone spinning down in 11th place, and it's not been a good day for the AlphaTauri, or for the Mercedes for that matter. Here we go, final lap of the race. I think Forza Brendan's not going to risk anything here. He's just going to chill. Yes, he has the race won, Forza Brendan, as long as he doesn't make any horrific mistakes here. Should be all over as this battle for P5. They've all got penalties. I'm not checking to see how much Dylan and GMAC have. I know Yaham had a few, but I did say that Yaham could potentially get 2 of those penalties removed. Potentially. As that is Mays around, so he's going to be a lap down, so Mays will cross the line in 12th place without a shadow of a doubt. As we have, I think we have Cost Captain pulling over as well, so that he doesn't have to do another lap. But it is going to be Forza Brendan who's going to take the win here in France, extending his championship lead. Sam will come home in 2nd place with Tom rounding off the podium. RJW will cross the line in 4th place. We've got Yaham and Dylan. Oh, it's getting scrappy with these guys to the line. Who's going to get it? Is it going to be... Is it a drag race? Oh, I think Yaham crossed the line ahead, but obviously with those penalties, Dylan will get P5, GMAC P6, Yaham P7. Colin, after what's been a horrendous race for him, completely out of his own control, getting the wing damage early on, nothing he could do about that. He was looking to make a move, but didn't work out for him. He's going to cross home and bring it home in P8. Hooky will see the checker flag in P9, and then Andy Campbell P10. And Tom gets driver of the day by the in-game fans. The question is, do I give him driver of the day as well? Did I have a good race? But Forza Brendan didn't put a foot wrong. Did not put a foot wrong all race, and thoroughly deserved the race win, as you know, the podium celebrations there with Forza Brendan, Tam and Tom. All up there on the podium. Tam will feel like he had the pace to win that, but track limits came back and cost him. The championship lead has been extended by 10 points, so the gap now between Tom and Forza Brendan is 14 points now. So it is Forza Brendan who takes the win ahead of Tam in second place. Tom will come up in third, RJW in fourth, Dylan in fifth, GMAC in sixth, Yaham in seventh, Colin in eighth, ninth for Hooky, and Andy Campbell rounding out the final points paying position. Cost capping with the fastest lap outside the top 10, along with Maze. No DNF shirt tonight, which is good to see, but potentially a few incidents could be reported, and Yaham, can he get any of those penalties removed? That's the question. If he can get one removed, he jumps up ahead of GMAC. I don't think he's going to be able to jump up ahead of Dylan, but you never know. But there we go, guys. That will bring an end to round number 4 here in the British and Irish Esports Championship on League Racing TV. Of course, I shall be back next week for round number 5 as we head to the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. So until then, guys, I have been Ivan Mike. You've been watching League Racing TV. Make sure you keep up to date with all the racing going on this channel by hitting that subscribe button and checking out all the fantastic racing that goes on League Racing TV. But until next time, guys, I've been Ivan Mike, and I'll see you next week.